We jammed for the first time in the spring of 22, which was our second semester freshman year, in our apartment.
That's Jeremy. He's the lead guitarist for West 22nd Band, a local Austin group that got its start in a 10 by 12 bedroom in West Campus at UT.
And then we jammed like 3 times, and then my roommate was like, hey, there's this kid in my RTF class who's super into music and wants to join a band. You should check him out at an open mic at the 24th Street food trucks. And I was like, sweet. So now we got 1, 2, 3 people. And then we started playing. We're like, okay, this could work.
Austin, Texas, often referred to as one of the live music capitals of the world, has a long-standing reputation for fostering musical talent. From iconic venues to impromptu sets on street corners, live music pulses through this city day and night. Whether it's a quiet set at a neighborhood honky-tonk or a major act in a packed stadium, the sound of guitars and the rhythm of boots on pavement is never far. Like many artists before them, West 22nd Band found their footing in Austin's vibrant music scene.
And then we started putting up flyers for a bassist and a drummer. So we got our first drummer and our first bassist, Nicole, and like a week later we were booked for a frat show. We had no idea what we were doing. We did not have the equipment. We it was quite extraordinary, if you will.
This quite extraordinary group now needed a name. The answer came from where it all started.
We were gearing up for our second show ever. And we were like, we need a name for our band because we were going to create an Instagram and all that jazz.
Naturally.
And a TikTok. And we need a name.
And YouTube.
And a YouTube. And I remember we were in our apartment and we were all like bouncing names off each other and nothing was really clicking. And I think they give me credit for it, which I'll take because I don't really remember who it was. But Logan and Gabe seem to give.
They've always given
me the credit, which I'll take.
Yeah.
But I was like, let's think of something like that that's like personal a little bit. It's not just like a random name.
Mm-hmm.
And so the street where we started jamming on was West 22nd Street. So I was like, what about West 22nd?
That was the start of West 22nd Band. The group went on performing at frats and small venues. Jet, who would eventually join the group, saw one of their earlier performances.
In the fall of, 23, their second show ever, I was in attendance. And so I saw this band, and I was like, oh my God. I met some of them after the show. I was like, this is exactly what I want to be doing throughout college. And so they kind of kept a mental note, and I'd go to y'all's shows for the next year and just, fanboy out. And then one time, Jeremy was gone for a wedding, so they asked me to fill in on guitar, because that's my main instrument. And then I did, and then the next spring for South by Southwest last year, they asked if I could play bass, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll figure it out. And then I've been playing bass since then.
So now the band was complete, and the shows were becoming more frequent. West 22nd started out covering familiar songs, but their original work began to stand out. One of those early moments came with a song called Sunburns.
When we played Sunburns for the first time, and a bunch of people came up to us after the show and was like, damn, what cover was that? Like, that was really good. And we were like, that wasn't a cover. Like, we just threw that together. That was I was like, oh, okay, wait, this could be cool if we kept doing this. So I would say that was a moment.
Their songwriting process doesn't follow a script. In fact, it rarely starts with a full song. The ideas arrive in small fragments and get shaped from there.
Okay, usually the creative process starts when we get a text that is a voice memo of Logan or Gabe just singing with an acoustic guitar. It'll be like, hey, I came up with this. Let's do something with this. And then usually we won't do anything until like a couple months later.
Yeah.
And then we'll come to practice and we'll be like, all right, look, did you learn the structure of this for today? We're like, nope. And so we'll kind of like, we'll work with it slowly, try to learn. But usually like most songs are like fully half-baked. I mean, the album, we came into the studio with like over half the songs half-baked.
Yeah.
So it usually starts with like a chorus or like a riff or both, and then we'll just kind of improvise it from there.
Easy love, can we talk about the way it was?
Improvisation, trial, error, that's where most of their music begins. It's not always clean, but it works. And for a song that really captures the band, Jet points to one in particular.
But yeah, that's a song that like writing it was chaotic, which is pretty like through line of the band. The song itself changes constantly, the way I feel like our songs are kind of up and down in terms of like all types of vibes. And it's a fun song.
It's a fun song.
We're a fun band.
Yeah.
That's my answer. I don't know.
When it comes to measuring true success, the band doesn't look for numbers. For them, the real answer shows up in a different way.
I'd say I measure success like when we're at a show playing live. How many people are there and invested and are enjoying what, like, because you can tell when people are like, it's all like this moment. I'd say like seeing the faces of people that are like touched by the music we're playing, whether it's like for fun or like they actually really love it.
Yeah, and I think numbers are definitely a thing. They're always going to be a thing. It's always a metric in every kind of form of entertainment.
Yeah.
Whether that's film, sports, music. But I think honestly when we're playing live and people are like singing along and like being active in the crowd, and I think I love when that happens.
Because we get stuff like, we played a show in Nashville, and there's a guy who's like, I flew in from New Jersey to see Sonny Jones live. I was like, that's crazy.
One guy is taking a 3-hour flight to Nashville to see one song. Like, we've done our rule.
Yeah.
Hey, low, Sonny Jones, you lost me when